gosh.
Hey, good afternoon, Hood News peeps. How are you guys doing? Hey, I've got Brady here with me from Crisis Care. How are you doing?
So good. So happy to be here with the Grizzly Hood News peeps.
Yes.
With the familia.
Yes, we're going to wait for you guys to hop on. I'm going to wait. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Are we good? Give me some thumbs up. Check in, Hood News peeps. We're going to wait till a few 100 people pop up, and then we'll go from there. How's everything been, friend?
It's been so good. Getting hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
We've been in our bunny suits just sweating.
Oh, no. That's what they call the bunny suits. Y'all
I call them that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Brady before or any of the some of the stuff, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, it's intense, like your line of work. If you've never seen Brady before, tell us what it is that you do.
Yeah, so we provide a service that not many people realize or want to realize happens, where we help individuals and families after tragedy. Mm-hmm. So we clean up after trauma, spills, after accidents, after homicides, violent crime, after all trauma incidents. And then a big part of what we do is we clean up after human decomposition. Mm-hmm. So when somebody passes away unattended and they don't get discovered for a while, a lot of things happen to the integrity of the home, and we're able to come in there and help salvage that. We work through insurance. And then another aspect of our business is hoarding. So essentially, we help people who collect a lot of things and don't want to throw them away, and they like to collect cats and dogs, and
Have you ever done that cleanup with a lot of animals and feces and stuff like that? Oh my goodness!
I was on the phone earlier today with a woman who was needing to get rid of over 40 cats in her house.
Oh yep. My God!
So
you guys help with that disaster situation, like, because that's a disaster if you ask me. Like when things get so far out of hand and out of control that like they're not even able to get out of it. They need someone else. They need the professionals, and that's where you come in.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where we come in.
Have y'all figured out a line of of how you guys are gonna do this?
Yeah, we have really awesome people who are going around right now. Shout out to John, Clemente, all of our team. You'll probably see them at, I don't know if you'll be there, but they're visiting the local police stations, the local funeral homes, and we're trying to just get out in the community and let people know that we're here. And of course, we're here with all of you guys at Grizzly Hood News.
All right.
So that's been wonderful.
That's amazing. So tell us, all right, how long has Crisis Care been in existence?
So we started in late September of last year.
Okay.
Yep, late September of last year, and we have helped just over 50 families so far this year, or since we started the business.
Right,
and yeah, it's been going great.
And you guys see everything from like homicides, like you friends, like the his portfolio, like the pictures that I saw, I was like, wow, oh my gosh, like you see people after they've been removed, like somebody that might have passed away on a couch, and nobody knew for weeks and weeks and weeks. You have to go in there and take care of that. That's what you guys do in a professional manner, and with the care and the attention to detail that it takes, so that it is restored in a way where it didn't look like it happened to begin with, right? That's essentially, you're giving that peace to the families, because they don't want to see that or think about it every time they pass by,
Right. Yeah. So the other week we dealt with a homicide with a family that, two beautiful children, normal neighborhood, and they were needing to deal with a bunch of stuff, and we had to step in and help navigate. This individual was a victim of abuse, and so the person who was deceased or unalived at that particular scene had access to all of their bank information, all of their insurance details. So we had to, help the family try to get a hold of all that information that the lady didn't have.
Wow.
So, yeah, lots of very challenging situations.
Right.
But ultimately, we were able to help the family so that when the kids and mom got back, everything was fine, and they could go on and keep going to school, or at least try, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Definitely, it gives some peace, not all the way, but some peace.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. That's an aspect that they don't have to stress and worry about. Because I've already heard some stories from moms myself, and I wish I would have known you then, friend. Like I wish I would have known Brady during many other times when I've talked to moms and they're cleaning their sons, death scenes, or their daughters might have been murdered and stuff. Because contrary to what people think, that doesn't get done by itself, not anymore. Like not what I know of, because I've been around for a while, and I've seen people go out with bleach on the street to wash blood or whatever was left of whatever crime scene. I've seen families myself, go out there and clean. I've heard of one mom recently, she had to clean up a crime scene after her loved one was killed. And so really very stressful and very sad situations at times.
yeah, I think that's what stood out to me from one of the posts that you posted. A lot of the comments were really eye-opening.
Yeah.
That just talked about that these services aren't really known about.
Yeah.
And then when you do know about them, you know nothing about them, and then you just want to make sure you're with the right people who are taking care of you and not kind of pulling the wool over your eyes. So
Let me ask you this. Why shouldn't somebody do this themselves? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with this.
Mm-hmm.
You can. You can, and a lot of people do, and that is sometimes part of people's grieving process,
Yes.
right? And so we're very respectful to all of that. I would say, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to who have said, I wish I would have known about this. So I didn't have to carry the trauma of cleaning up, body fluids and brain matter, things like that. Like, this is the reality of these scenes.
Right.
And so that trauma, gets paid for in a lot of ways, right? We pay for it every day when we think about it. And then, down the road, if we go to therapy, that may, be an extra cost for us. So, you can clean it up yourself. There is definitely benefits to having a professional company come and do it. The obvious benefit is not doing it yourself, and just hiring us to take on that trauma for you, because we're able to take that trauma on better. It's not easy for us, right? Because it's still, we're human, but we have the training that we need to make sure your home is safe, that the apartment, that the business is safe, and that your asset doesn't diminish because of this event. And those are the things that you don't really think about in these situations. You don't think, right, like, oh, what about the subplate of this, and what if that? And so we're able to think about that because we're not as close to the situation. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I commend everything that you do. Now, how fast? Okay, this is a situation. Let's say a situation where someone is gone, right? And there was a scene left behind, whether it was an unaliving of oneself, like a suicide, or if it was by homicide or natural death, or whatever happens, somebody passes away, and then they are discovered or whatever, found. How fast can you and your team be out there at a scene like this?
There's a phrase in Spanish that we at Crisis Care live by, and it's "tenemos las pilas bien puestas." Like, we're ready all the time, and so we have, it's not always perfect behind the scenes, but we've never not shown up within 2 hours.
Okay, so you do, like, you respond pretty quickly.
Yeah, we do, and if not, quicker than that.
Because that's fast. I mean, that's pretty fast.
So just for example, we responded to a situation where somebody had unalived themselves on a mattress.
Wow.
We responded within an hour and a half, and by the time we got to the bottom of that mattress treatment, the body fluid was actively going down. So had we not responded, right, that job would have been we charged, we were able to use the crime victim fund. So the family didn't come out of pocket anything for that job,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So to them, we take care of that with the Attorney General office. They pay us directly, so
Okay.
we're all good.
Yeah.
But because we responded quickly, the blood didn't get to the carpet. And had that blood gotten to the carpet, it would have been $10,000, $15,000.
Wow.
So
being there on time is
yeah,
can
and
be a game
calling
changer.
right away,
Yeah.
right? Because if they were to wait,
Yeah,
it
because
would have been
then
worse.
we're talking about removing carpet, we're talking about floorboards and baseboards. Wow.
In the midst of services and
Yes.
family stuff going on, right? So, yeah.
So somebody says, like, what kind of expenses or how much does something like this cost? And there are programs available for people, whether you at home know that or not. There are, and Brady's going to talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it's expensive. It just kind of, I would say 80 to 90% of our jobs are anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Right, and
It's
that's
not.
where we can get to it and we can, get it done. And then the reimbursement fund, that's a resource that will help. Not everyone qualifies as a victim of violent crime, but we're able to help the families with the victim advocates, local victim advocates. Shout out to all of H-Town's victim advocates. They're wonderful, wonderful people who really care about Houston. So we work with them very close on getting families access to that money.
Yeah.
Now, if it stretches beyond that, we are, we help families file claims with insurance, and essentially we're able to be very creative with all of this. So ultimately, if we can keep people out of pocket and have everyone win, whereas, nobody's dealing with the trauma, we're able to keep our lights on, and everyone, that's where we want to be. And I think we're able to make it work a lot of the times. And I think there's a preconceived notion that this stuff is just so expensive, where it really is affordable. And we have insurance for reasons, and they got to pay sometimes. So we're really good at making them do their job.
Okay, so he's got the team ready to get that done for you.
Yeah.
What's the I know I've seen your scenes. Look, friends, I've seen a lot of Brady scenes like that. They document and they have photos and stuff. And how is it that you guys are able to make it look like nothing ever had even happened with that? You guys don't cut corners at all. Like, you guys are very professional. I've seen the work, and I'm like, wow, like the befores and afters, amazing. How do you guys do that? I know it takes experience for sure.
We just care. We care a lot. I know that sounds cheesy, but
No,
like
it doesn't.
this to do what we do, you really do have to have some sort of care behind it. And so we have our trainings, right? So we
Okay.
don't cut corners. We don't want to cut corners, because then that puts us at risk. Because if we cut corners in our business and there's hazards and things like that, we can't be responsible for that going forward. But no, just really attention to detail. We have annual, quarterly trainings with our team, and we're always brushing up on our certificates to get all that stuff polished up. But it's pretty simple work. It's just there's not a lot of people who actively want to do this. So yeah.
Wow, you need your own reality show, friend. I'm so curious and fascinated. I have so much respect, because this guy right here that's sitting next to me and his team, they're so compassionate. Like the follow-up that they do, they bring flowers to the family. They check in on them, make sure if there's anything else that they can be of service of, or just listening. Sometimes, it's really helpful. It's just to have somebody in your corner. You always want to have somebody like Brady around. Like, that is the difference in between, finding peace and, sometimes staying away from the scenes, not seeing what they see. That's, wow.
You're just fluffing me up, Grizzy.
Oh,
I appreciate
thank
it.
you,
No,
friend.
we appreciate it. No, you
Yeah.
guys at all the Grizzy Hood News.
I watch
page.
all his videos, y'all. Follow him on Facebook. I have so much fascination with what he does. It's just wow. It's an aspect that I didn't know about too much, because I'm outside, where the firefighters are, where behind the perimeter tape. But he's he's at the scene. Like, you see something that I don't see, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's you're doing the Lord's work, is what I've got to say.
Well, we're here for Houston, and we appreciate all of you, all the love that we've gotten in the comments. It's just we're just happy to be here and help in the little way we can. So.
Yeah. Veronica says, awesome. God bless them. Yes, thank you. Is there a cost for their service? Yes. That's just depending on what programs, because he's got a team. They can figure out if there's some sort of insurance that'll help cover it, or some sort of program through crime victims. It just depends.
Outside of those two options,
yes.
let's say if that doesn't work, we also offer monthly payment plans.
Okay.
So instead of X amount of dollars, you're only responsible for a small monthly payment.
Okay.
And there's no early payoff penalties on that.
Okay.
Just ultimately the goal is to
to take care of the person, and and then we can worry about those things as well later down the line.
Right.
That's amazing. So there are ways to get the services that you need if you find yourself in a crisis like that. That's a crisis, having lost somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me see. I'm reading the comments right now from the peeps. Hey peeps, can y'all hear me? Yes? Really interesting business and information. Impressive. Facebook name, how can they find you?
Crisis Care, Biohazard, Death, and Hoarding Cleanup, I think is our official name.
Do me a favor, get
here.
on your phone right now
Yeah.
get in the live video and say hi to everybody.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And that way, right now we're going to get you some followers. So friends, wait, he's going to comment in the comment section. He's about to get in there.
All right.
All right, hold on, friends. Qué orgulloso soy de ti, Brady, says Blanca Mireya.
Blanca, muchas gracias. Saludos.
Yes.
That's our gente over there in
Criminal
Congo.
Matter says, don't be shy. It takes a special person to do this type of work. Yes, and he is that one. He is the one, friends. Is there a cost for service? Yes. We are out here. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So there he is right there in the comments. Let me see. Right there.
You see me?
Yep. So just hit that profile and follow. Make sure you follow, friends. And I just gave it a... And just, he talks about you talk about grants, you talk about programs.
Yeah.
You're always really active on that social media, and that's really great that you're using this tool to let people know that you're out here, that you're ready to service the community.
Yes.
And it's a career that we don't hear much about. It's like the unsung heroes out there, like in a different way. It's like we hear firefighters, police, but we don't get to hear about Brady's out there. Doing this.
Well, Grizzy and Crisis Care, we're here for it. And you mentioned a grant opportunity. So are you? We're offering a grant for hoarding services. So we've put together a fund with resources where every quarter we can provide one family that we select, and there's different criterias that we base our selection on, and a lot of them have to do with our children involved, or things we prioritize age and health, and
yes.
So we want to identify one family a quarter where we can go and help for free.
Wow.
Now on the cleanup side for crime scenes, we're launching an identical grant that is the exact same thing, but for that side. So for all of our law enforcement people listening to this, Crisis Care has a grant for biohazard cleanup, and we're willing to offer that every month to families at no cost.
Oh,
and so
that's amazing, friend.
We're just trying.
Amazing, yes.
Yep.
All right, so listen up, friends. Like, Brady's gonna make things happen to help a family. I'm interested. I want to go to one of those hoarding scenes. Like, I want to go to one. I've seen some before, and I've walked through some.
Yeah.
You guys know I've walked through plenty of it, and I want to see how you guys move. I'm just so curious. I've seen it in pictures and videos, of course, but I would like to join y'all. I keep saying it so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, Brady, I want to go with you to a scene one of these days.
Yeah.
And I have so much respect for the work that these folks do.
Maybe next month when we find our free candidate, we can schedule the live so that you can be on with us.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if you ever find yourself, in a tragedy strikes with a loved one or at home, from crime scenes to natural deaths, they've got you covered. They're making sure that your property, remains intact, and and restored and livable again. You know, and these are just facts. Crisis Care is on call 24/7, friends. Day, night, hurricane, whatever. Call them.
Baby.
Yes, call them up. Friend, what is like, okay, so how long have you been in Houston?
Me and my family have been in Houston since 2016. So we're
2016.
from Arizona, but
Yeah.
I bought my first cowboy hat from the hat store. Shout out the hat store in Houston. I heard it was a good place. So I think we're officially Texans. But yeah, we've been here for about almost 10 years.
Friends, and he's been a Hood News Peep for a while. It's so cool. Like when he reached out, I said, "What, friends? He sponsors like me and the Hood News. Like he really does." So I'm really appreciative of that too. And you know, we just want to see you prosper because you're creating opportunities. You know, for your employees, for yourself. You know, this is like local business. Like this is like grassroots. You know, and we're in tune like that. You know, like. He's young, I'm young, and we are the next ones up in line. You know, a lot of the older, you know, ways that we know, like, you know, people are retiring, people are moving around, and we're the new faces out there. And I think it's our turn to step up, and he's ready to help the community in any way possible, shape, and form. So it's really amazing to see and watch the growth. You know, I'm like, wow, he's gonna be on. He's gonna be on TV one day. I'm really excited. I'm like, I just know it. I'm calling it now.
No way.
Yes, friend. Yes.
Bueno, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. So one more time, how can they get in contact with you? What's that phone number?
Márcame. Call me. 832-662-4616. That's 832-662-4616. And we're open all the time. So, yep. Let me know.
Shooting scenes, you do those.
Bow and arrows.
Bow and arrows.
Machete.
Wow.
Lo que me.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. And then like remains, like you've dealt with when there was once remains in a spot and all of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, friends. Anything else you want to tell the peeps?
Nope. Love y'all. Thank you.
All right. Hey, so we're here with Brady Crisis Care. Make sure you call them now if you ever need them. Whenever that may be, just keep them in the back of your mind. You know, take a screenshot if you need to of the information presented. And yeah, we're here. They're here for you. All
Thanks,
right.
Grizzy.
Thank you. More Hood News on the way. Stay tuned, friends. I got more for y'all. Oh my gosh, I got more Hood News. I do.